okay, it's not my idea, okay?
What do you think you're doing?
I'm just copying. I saw Naomi and thought I wanna do that.
That's bad. You are bad,
But
Andrea.
What? I'm just a broccoli.
Oh, it's a tribute to her.
I just wanted to have fun like her.
Oh, just to have fun.
Oh, broccoli.
Joking aside, Naomi, if you ever see this, oh my god, I love you. You are actually the reason why I started my own channel, so I hope you will appreciate this content. For those who don't know, this is her format. I only ate like famous Mukbanger for 7 days straight. A pretty intense week. Let's just start, shall we? Let's start big with blue Takis Noodles. It's the most viral thing she ever made, originally from Enoki avocado. But first of all, let's meet the Takis, which I've never tasted.
Takis are not sold in Italy. This little bag is $6. This is a wrapped tortilla chip. I don't get it. Very crunchy, okay. It's hot, blue heat. Oh, hot chili pepper. Yeah, I should have read that. That was... Also, tortilla chips is written in there. Oh, I was like, I believe this is tortilla chips and they don't tell you. Is it like cheesy, some sort of vinegar? But maybe once on a plate, I will get.
But let's start with the cheese sauce. Every mukbanger of the world sooner or later will eat this creamy, cheesy sauce.
Hear me out. The very famous Mukbanger cheese sauce is basically bechamel with cheese. Butter, flour, milk or heavy cream and then waiting for them to thicken. So I thought, just to save my body a little bit of cheese today, why not the veggie bechamel? It's like also good for cholesterol. Let's taste it. It's a good base, it will do the trick.
This time it must be blue, Takis blue.
I couldn't find a proper food coloring, so I found this one. This is not for cooking, this is for baking. And it's a gel and it's with sugar. I thought it cannot be so sweet that will damage my recipe, right? Another leap of faith.
So let's pretend we made the bechamel on our own.
You know, with the cheese and all, I feel this will be already enough.
Once your bechamel is heated up, I don't think I waited enough, it's time for your grated mozzarella. I added the whole package. Then, you know, you just stir and heat until the cheese melts. For some reason I thought that like 12 big drops could be good. I just didn't know what to expect, but I could never expect it to be so strong.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I was so proud of that because so effortlessly my sauce was already looking so good. It was just perfect, just like the ones you saw on Enoki video.
Oh my god.
I was really amazed. Then I thought, why not add a little bit of flavor? Paprika was the perfect match because the color was kind of the opposite. The paprika made the blue a little bit warmer.
Well, the paprika is way more Takis. Close enough.
Okay, now hear me out. Both Naomi and Enoki colored the noodles after cooking. So the noodles were strange color, like with darker ones and lighter ones that didn't get enough coloring and ones that had a lot of coloring. It was not even, both of them. But I had an epiphany. I colored the water. Why nobody thought about that? And yeah, I colored it very much. And then thought, how could it ever be too much? It was very colored. Also, something you don't notice when you cook pasta in transparent water is that you drop a lot of water, but it just dries out and you don't mind. But when the water is blue, you notice everything, and I made the water leak everywhere. It was a total mess. Then you dry your pasta, and to make sure it doesn't stick together, I added oil and butter. The pasta was the best. It was absolutely the bluest of them all. Then you can season your noodles with your healthy looking sauce and garnish with your blue Takis. You know, I don't think that you can put too many of them on top. You know, just go ahead. Guys, this is the final result. I'm not even ashamed to say that. This is way better looking than all the other ones I saw. They're just the best. It was dinner time. The result is very creamy, very spicy, and very, very thick. I mean, this is not some easygoing dinner. You don't taste the food coloring, and the Takis give it this crunchy texture, which is amazing among all these other textures. It's absurd to say that, but I think it's very balanced, except for the fact that it is very heavy. There is no way you can eat a plate like this in one sit. At the end of the day, this was worth it. Let's jump to the next recipe. Black bean enoki mushrooms. This is originally from Zoe ASMR, and the look of it is so juicy and gives you the idea of making your mouth so full. So let's cook them. You start by cutting them. Naomi recommends you to not cut them too much. They need to stay together at the base in order to make these little pieces that you can... You got it. They smell weird. Then I found a bean paste that was already with sugar, so it was just perfect. The look of it was not the best, I guess. It looked like something else. Let's pretend we never saw it. The mushrooms were way too many, so I kind of needed more paste, in my opinion. The point is to cook them not so much, and I made the same mistake as Naomi. I've put too much water. Just think of putting not enough water, and that will be the right amount. Anyway, you cook it and you kind of hope it will thicken, but it doesn't. So I've put some potato starch, but you don't put it that way. It's in big chunks and you don't want it to be like that. It must be very light powder. In fact, a lot of chunks stuck together and made this weird consistency. I had to fish them out. It was a mess. After some cooking, this will be the result. My mushrooms were not so juicy and so dark, and the sauce was not thick. They were... aesthetically could be a failure, but they were very good actually. I believe that what's important about this is the sound. I couldn't eat an whole dish of it. It's way too much and way too sweet. I don't know, it's not something that I could eat and eat until I'm full. It was not as satisfying as I thought. It's now day 3 and the next recipe is gorgeous. We are cooking rosé tteokbokki. The references are daejong, which I'm not pronouncing properly, I'm sorry, and bokki, which we all love, of course. So let's cut your onions, let's cut your garlic, and also find some small wurzels, which I couldn't, so I found these really big sausages that I have to cut, pretending they were small. Then you pan fry them. You should cook the sausages and also brown the onion. I apparently browned it way too much. Then it's time for the milk. Oh, wait a minute. I'm not giving you any measurements because I don't know them. It was by heart. And after the milk, it's time for our veggie bechamel. I believe it was heavy cream, but I thought, bechamel never hurt nobody. Then you add your rice cakes, then the gochujang paste, which I never heard of. Thank you, Naomi, again. And it's spicy, so I was not so generous with it. I used it just to give the rosé color, not so much spiciness. Also paprika, which is perfect for your rosé tteokbokki. Then I became obsessed with my burnt onion and spent some time fishing out the worst parts. Then, if you saw Naomi's video, I know what you're thinking. What about the rice noodles? I had no intention of making some, but in an Asian supermarket, I found those ones, potato noodles, and I thought they were perfect. I cooked them too early, and I made them rest to the side with oil and stuff in order to make them not stick together. I failed. Because look at them. Oh. It was like putting a potato in my recipe. But after a little bit of moisturizing and kneading the sauce, they were cool. They were not as bad as the beginning. Then, very important, you add the cheddar cheese. Yellow-orange color was not enough already. You make it melt and you end up with this creamy, cheesy, saucy noodles. It was the better-looking dish I've ever made. It was in the same spot as Korean carbonara, if you know what I mean. This dish was so satisfying, so fulfilling, and also listen to it. And again, I am even saying that it was balanced. I didn't add salt, and I believe this is kind of the secret because the salt comes only from the cheese and the sausages, so you kind of want all the ingredients in your mouth each time, and it is so good. I was absolutely amazed by this. Also, I ate so much. That was nice. But let's run to day 4, the day of corn dogs. Once again, this recipe is by Bokki. We are putting ourselves in a bit of a challenge this time, because the easy part is this one, when you cut everything in order to make the soul of your corn dog. Also, I made them very long, and I don't know why. They shouldn't be that long. You dry the sausages with flour, and then you build your skewers.
Now, these poor guys will have a trip to the freezer. When you deep fry cheese, it must be frozen. That was clear. Thank you, Naomi.
Then it's time for the dough, for which you use regular flour, corn flour, 2 eggs, baking powder, salt, oil, spices, a lot of stuff until you make this flavorful, well-seasoned dough. Then it's time for the coating of your corn dogs. So you smash a huge bag of nachos. Also, you should add panko breadcrumbs, but I didn't have any and I thought the nachos by themselves were enough. I'm not sure about that. We'll see it later. Then I had troubles doing 2 things. One was cutting all the skewers that for some reason they didn't cut for me. And also find a proper dipping station. You should just find the perfect length for your corn dogs to dip. I started with the thin one.
I don't think this is thick enough. Okay, I'm gonna do this.
So I decided to go ahead and cover the first one, but I wanted to thicken up the dough, adding a little bit of flour. It was slightly thicker, so it was good. Then something happened in my mind.
But I'm gonna put some more.
I decided I want it very, very thick.
It's not thick enough. I'm gonna try to... I maybe have lost my mind.
Yes.
But I want to add some more.
I mean, how could I think that could be a good idea? Looking at it right now, it's so obvious that it's not good.
Perfection!
No! It was so thick, it couldn't even cover the corn dog properly. I had to spread it on top of it.
Now you're talking. That's it.
No! It just became the bigger and the thicker corn dog of the world.
Say hello to your big brother.
What's crazy also is that I finished a whole package of nachos for this.
So far, it's a success.
Absolutely not!
Okay, I have... Okay.
You know what time is it? It's time for frying ASMR. Because frying sounds so good.
The size is perfect and it's totally random. Ooh. No. I can fry only one at a time and also 1/2 at a time. Oh, nice. The next one, way less brown, okay? How thick it is.
The result looks nothing like the ones I saw. They should look so smooth and fluffy, and mine looks so dark and crunchy, but not in a good way. Also, they are too big. Why are they so big? At the first bite, the dough was very good. It was well seasoned, salty, you could taste all the spices. It was good, but it took me just a few seconds to realize
The dough is a bit dry.
You don't say.
And I'm not sure that it's cooked properly.
It was all so big and the dough so thick that the mozzarella didn't even melt inside.
The seasoning is very good. I tried too hard for thickening the dough.
You don't say. Maybe also I overfroze it. The small ones, the first one I made with the proper ingredients, by the way, those were way better. The cheese melted, the dough cooked itself, it was way more balanced.
This is paper. This is not bad. I like it. I like the taste. I'm enjoying it. But it's a fail.
I went ahead and tried to save it with ketchup.
You know, when the cheese is not melted, it's very disappointing. Oh.
Also, the part with the sausage, I don't know, it was nothing special.
This is something you have to chew a lot. Maybe the dough is not cooked properly. What happens to you when you eat uncooked flour? Does it hurt you? Like you don't cook for months? Ketchup is the solution for a lot of stuff.
Then it was time for Alessio to come in.
This one is for you. Everybody, ketchup! Yeah, ketchup is recommended.
His one was slightly more melted than mine. Of course, he didn't enjoy it. At the end of the day, everything was off. Simply off. I want to try it again because I believe this recipe could be so good. And I want to try different recipes and make the proper corn dog. Here we are at day 5. This is the most mukbang looking recipe of them all. We are talking about the jelly cake by Mini Eats. I hope I'm saying that correctly. This is basically a jelly cake made out of water, agar powder, and whatever you want to put in. Also, it is garnished with condensed milk. The point that I've learned from Naomi is that you need to flavor it. Otherwise, it will be just water with agar powder, and there is no way it could be good. Let's find out. I used the red color this time because I thought the red and the white of the condensed milk could be amazing together. Of course, I've put so much food coloring because, you know, why not? Then I became obsessed by the idea of making clumps, so I poured the powder slowly. I used 4 bags of agar powder for 1 liter, and I kept blending it a lot of times, even for 1 small bag. But you know, I did good. The result was perfect, with no clumps, nothing. It was perfect. Also, thanks to Naomi, I added sugar, a lot of it, and also vanilla flavor. Vanilla is the best with condensed milk, right? After that, I've poured it in a bowl and made it rest in the fridge. I made it rest for like 3 hours, 4 hours, something like that.
I am pretty excited for this one.
Look at her. I mean, seriously?
I've never made gel. I think this suits. Is there some technique? I don't know. Maybe I should like... Yes! Oh god, it's working. Ooh. It's perfection. So vanilla.
It came out just perfect. I opened up a can of condensed milk.
You know, it's lactose free, so it's healthy.
And I realized, guys, that I've never tasted it. It is a lot yellow. All the condensed milk I saw in those kind of videos is really white. I don't know, it was like dulce de leche. Then you cut yourself a little slice of your cake, and you know, it's like the one you saw in movies, like in Jurassic Park when the little girl eats the jello and she gets scared of the velociraptor, that kind of jello. Then, because you know condensed milk is never too much, you garnish also your slice.
It's the vanilla flavor.
Alessio never likes anything I cook. It was good. It was surprisingly good. I thought, yeah, you know, it's something made out of water and tasted like nothing. Instead, I kind of was obsessed by it. Of course, as every time I taste something new, I lost my mind and ate it so much I felt sick afterwards. But come on, look at her. She was gorgeous. It was my dessert for the next days, and I am proud of that. Our week is passing so fast. It's already time for day 6. Hot Cheetos hash browns. This recipe once again is by Tteokbokki. Also, yeah, you saw it right. I don't have hot Cheetos. I don't know where to buy them in Italy. So I tried something in my mind close enough to them. And I ended up with these ketchup ones. You know, ketchup is red, so they should be red. They were not. I mean, they were not yellow, but they were not red. And after that, you prepare your egg wash. I wanted to make 4 hash browns and used 3 eggs, and they were way too many. I made a very tasty omelette afterwards. Then you make a coat for your hash browns. The first one, I double coated it. Then I realized that I didn't have enough chips, so I made only a single coat for the other 3. And that's your final result. For amazing ketchup chips hash browns, I added a little bit of oil on top of them and air fried them at 200 degrees Celsius for more than that, for kind of 20 minutes or something. Then you know what's happening. It's time for your Mukbanger cheese sauce. I was actually able to eat not so much lactose this week. Let's put our veggie bechamel. Also, this time I found this melting cheddar cheese for burgers, and trust me, it was perfect for the sauce. So I kept adding slices until the color was perfect. Also, this time I made a little mistake because I've put the paprika all in one point, so it just made these clumps. It ruined the aesthetics of my sauce. After 20 minutes or so, our hash browns are brown and looking good. I found them very tasty and very cool, but very soft. Well, potato, ketchup chips, and melted cheese. It was a great combination, believe me. Also pretty hot. The sauce was just perfect because it was very cheddary and it was the perfect match. But I couldn't taste the ketchup. The chips were not enhanced at all in this recipe. They just gave the crunchy texture and nothing else. But overall, I loved it. But let's call in the reviewer.
Alessio, do you wanna taste? Okay, this is double coated. Bechamel and cheddar. Can you taste the ketchup in the chips? They are ketchup. Can you? My. No, the cheddar. The sauce is crucial.
You know what's crazy? He liked the hash browns, but he didn't like the sauce. Look how small amount of sauce he uses. Come on, look at us. This is an amazing snack. Alessio ate only one, and after 2 hash browns I thought to myself, okay, stop, that's enough, you are full. But at the end, you know, as always, I couldn't stop. I didn't regret it at all. It was very satisfying. It's already the last day. It's day 7, but I got a surprise because day 7 is today. I have one last recipe, which is not a recipe, but it's a mukbanger food. Maltesers. This experience is provided by SMR, and it consists of eating Maltesers as a cereal with milk. A bowl. I don't wanna make a whole package. Oh yes, it's rice milk. I'm not sure I get the point. I see the point of Naomi, which is those are snacks to eat dry because they are crunchy and there is a lot of chocolate. Putting them into milk, your mouth expects something like cereals that can absorb the milk, but those don't. So you find yourself chewing this big chunk of chocolate. Also, you have to keep drinking the milk in order to balance the consistencies. It's not something I could recommend. Also because you end up with eating a lot of them. In order to keep the feeling of cereals with milk, you need to keep drinking milk. Otherwise, you find yourself with the last part of the Maltesers experience without having the starting part. I don't know. Also, this is a very heavy breakfast. I could go back to sleep after this. Also, yes, your teeth will be full of chocolate. I find hard to stop. Okay guys, let's wrap it up. This was a long journey, a very fun journey, and I am very happy I made it. Again, thank you Naomi. This is all about you. You inspired this and you inspired me. Also guys, remember that subscribing helps a lot. Also comment with the broccoli if you are a broccoli. Don't forget to follow me on my social media. Okay, I was joking. See you soon. Bye.